Chosen one. Heaven holds its breath. Everything around you slows, almost trembling, as if creation itself pauses to listen for your name. For so long, they laughed. They mocked the quiet faith you carried when no one saw. They said your prayers were wasted air, your dreams a foolish reach. But what they didn't know is that heaven was writing down every word. Every sneer became an entry in the divine record of what God intends to reverse. You see, when you cried behind closed doors, angels stood outside the threshold. When you asked, "Why me?" heaven answered with silence, not because God ignored you, but because he was preparing your unveiling. There is a sacred pause that happens before divine motion. That's where you are now. You are standing in that pause, the stillness before heaven's movement. And even though the world mocked, heaven never laughed. Heaven was storing justice, storing favor, storing your vindication. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 4, "The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them." Heaven is not mocking you. It is mocking the arrogance of those who mocked you. God does not forget the tears of his chosen. He does not ignore injustice. The same laughter that once wounded you will soon echo back as thunder against the walls of your enemy's pride. Maybe you remember the faces, those who smirked when you dreamed out loud, those who turned their backs when you fell. You didn't understand then why God let them see your weakness. But listen carefully now. He allowed it so they would have no excuse when he raises you publicly. You were never being humiliated. You were being documented for proof. Your story is not a tragedy. It's an exhibit of divine irony. What men called failure, heaven calls foundation. What felt like exile was actually preservation. Think of Joseph thrown into a pit. Think of David left in the field. Think of Hannah praying with trembling lips, each one ridiculed before revelation. You walk the same sacred road. There's a story heaven has been writing about you. In that story, every betrayal is a plot twist. Every delay, a foreshadowing. You are not behind schedule. You are aligned with prophecy. When God moves, he does not move by seconds or hours. He moves by seasons. And this right now is the season where silence breaks. Imagine this, heaven standing still, like a courtroom before the judge enters. The angels stop singing. The books are opened. Your name is called. The laughter of men fades beneath the sound of heaven's gavel. This is your moment of divine attention. Don't rush it. Let the words sink. In heaven is focused on you. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. Because when you are chosen, your pain carries purpose. Your waiting has weight. You are the message God wants to deliver to those who doubted that his favor can rest on the rejected. And right now, as you hear this, something within you stirs. That's not emotion, it's recognition. You know deep down that this is not coincidence. You know you were meant to hear this in this exact moment. The same God who saw your heartbreak is now ready to make it the stage of your vindication. They laughed. Yes, but laughter dies in the presence of power. God is rising with anger, not born of vengeance, but of justice. The one who sits in heaven is not passive. He is protective. You are his evidence that mercy and fire coexist. So take this moment and breathe. Feel heaven's eyes upon you. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not invisible. You are seen. You are remembered. And you are about to be revealed. This is your divine pause, the second before thunder. the breath before the storm of favor. When God moves this time, it will not be gentle. It will be unmistakable. Every word they spoke will return to them like an echo of their own disbelief. And you will walk through their disbelief, untouched, carrying the authority of someone heaven defended, chosen one. If these words burn in your chest, it's because heaven is confirming what your spirit already knew. This is your hour. Don't be afraid to claim it. Don't shrink back when you feel His fire rising around you. Now, lift your head. You are not what they said you were. You are what heaven whispered you would be. If this message speaks to your spirit, like it, share it, and subscribe to stay connected to this flow of divine truth. Comment 444 below as your sign that you're ready for heaven to move on your behalf. The laughter has ended. Heaven has begun to move. The heavens roar. Your name resounds. And destiny unfolds. No more waiting. No more shame. Only divine justice and unstoppable glory rising. They laughed, but you kept walking. Their laughter wasn't quiet, it was sharp, echoing through the corridors of your heart. You remember the tone, the sideways glances, the mockery dressed as jokes. It stung, but somehow you kept moving forward. You didn't even know why at times, you just knew that stopping would mean surrendering the little flicker of faith left in you. It wasn't pride that carried you. It was something deeper, quieter, like a seed pushing through the soil. Unseen, yet unstoppable. Every day you chose to walk. Even when your steps felt heavy, you didn't realize it then. But that quiet persistence was the sound of heaven's rhythm. People saw only your struggle. They didn't see the nights you wrestled with doubt, the mornings you rose with trembling hope. You walked with tears in your eyes, but you still walked, and each step whispered, I still believe. Yvonne, there was a time you thought God was silent because He was distant, but now you understand He was silent because He was watching. Every time you took one more step, you gave heaven a reason to move closer. Your perseverance became your prophecy, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. That verse wasn't written for perfect people. It was written for people like you, those who fall, cry, and question. Yet rise again. The fall never disqualified you. It defined your resilience. What looked like weakness was actually training. Each fall was a rehearsal for your rise. Think of how many times you could have given up. There were nights when even prayer felt dry, when faith felt like sand slipping through your fingers, yet you didn't stop. You may not have felt strong, but heaven called you steadfast. You may not have shouted victory, but your quiet endurance spoke louder than the mockers ever could. There's a kind of power born in pain, a holy stubbornness. That's what you carried. When others laughed, you learned to walk with your head low, but your heart lifted. When they doubted, you learned to let silence answer for you. And when they waited for your collapse, you kept going until your steps confused them. It wasn't easy. The road felt long, like wandering through fog with no map. You had moments of bitterness, moments of anger. You wanted God to act faster, to show them, to prove them wrong. But instead of lightning, He gave you endurance. Instead of instant victory, He gave you time. That's how heaven builds strength, not by shortcuts, but by seasons. Each delay carved wisdom into you. Each disappointment shaped humility. You were being refined, not rejected. God wasn't withholding breakthrough. He was constructing one that would last. Sometimes you felt like you were walking in circles, like your prayers bounced off the sky. But even that was part of your preparation, because when you walk with faith long enough, faith begins to walk with you. It changes how you see. It turns pain into perspective, mockery into momentum. Now look back for a moment. Look at the distance you've covered. The people who mocked you are still where they were, but you have moved forward. You may not be where you want to be, but you are no longer where you were. That's victory, quiet, steady, uncelebrated victory. They laughed, but your walk became a sermon. Without shouting, without arguing, your endurance testified that divine strength cannot be mocked. You proved that faith doesn't need applause to be powerful. You proved that obedience in the dark can build thrones in the light. And even now, as you continue walking, heaven records each step. You think it's just survival, but to God, it's worship. Every tear that fell on the path became a seed of your coming harvest. Every bruise from the stones of criticism became evidence of your loyalty to His calling. The laughter of the crowd was loud, but not louder than your purpose. That's why you kept walking. That's why you're still here. You survived what was meant to silence you. And one day soon, they'll ask how you kept going. You won't point to talent or luck. You'll point upward. Because the same God who watched you fall 7 times will make sure the 7th rise is the one no one can ignore. For though they laughed, you walked. And while they mocked, heaven marked your steps. Your footsteps, once mocked, now echo, like prophecy, fulfilled each step a drumbeat of divine persistence, shaking the ground where doubt once ruled, announcing heaven's unstoppable justice rising through you. The laughter fades into silence as your endurance becomes melody. Heaven composes your journey into a song of strength, and every scar now glows with sacred, unbreakable light. They mocked you because they mistook delay for denial. They thought your silence meant surrender, not knowing that the chosen often walk through stillness before the sound of fulfillment. Every cruel word they spoke was a seed of prophecy they accidentally planted, for in mocking you, they confirmed you. The laughter that once pierced you was heaven's secret signal. It announced the beginning of reversal, what they meant to humiliate you, God will use to highlight you. Every insult, every smirk, every whispered judgment is being rewritten into divine evidence that you were marked all along. It is written in the scroll of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. I will bring that group through the fire and make them pure. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. No, what they laughed at was the refining fire. They saw the smoke of your struggle, but not the gold it was creating. They saw pressure, not purpose. The mocking voices became heat that forced out everything that wasn't aligned with heaven's design. You were being purified publicly. Imagine a blacksmith holding molten metal, shaping it while sparks fly. That was your soul under God's craftsmanship. Pain was never punishment, it was polishing. He was forming strength where weakness once lived. And the laughter around you? That was merely background noise while heaven wrote your next chapter. There's a story of a chosen one who once stood where you stand, now misunderstood, labeled, laughed at, People called him foolish for believing that his calling would still rise after failure. But when God finally moved, every mocker turned into a witness. They saw the glory they once denied. That story is yours too. It's unfolding even now. You may not see it yet. But mockery has an expiration date. There comes a moment when the joke flips, when the same mouths that ridiculed you will be forced to speak blessing. It won't happen by revenge. It will happen by revelation. When God elevates you, He doesn't need to destroy your enemies. He educates them. You are standing in the intersection of mockery and miracle. Everything they said you'd never become is trembling on the edge of becoming. The very areas they pointed at in doubt will soon be your loudest testimonies. Their laughter has built the stage for your unveiling. And when the moment arrives, don't gloat. Don't say, "I told you so." Instead, stand still and let grace speak. Because your victory is not about proving them wrong, it's about proving that faith works. Heaven is using you as living evidence that divine timing never fails. So, when the memory of their laughter still echoes in your mind, smile. Remember that the goldsmith never apologizes for the fire. Remember that laughter only lasts until God speaks. And God is about to speak through your life in a way that no one can deny. Your waiting was not wasted. It was building spiritual muscle. You were forged for endurance. Every no you heard became weight added to your strength. Now, when heaven says yes, you'll have the capacity to carry it. You survived the season of laughter. Now you'll thrive in the season of proof. Soon, your endurance will be the evidence that faith was always stronger than ridicule. Heaven is about to silence mockery, not by argument, but by manifestation. Comment: I rise as a declaration that you refuse to bow to the memory of mockery, because each word you type becomes a prophetic act, signaling to heaven that you are ready to be revealed. Let your comment be your agreement with God's timing. Quiet, steady, unshakable. When you write, "I rise," you are not typing letters. You are declaring resurrection over your story. It is heaven's language through human fingertips. A silent roar that says, "My fall is over. My rising has begun." It is a stand of faith, not pride. You are saying, "I refuse to live under what mocked me." You are proclaiming that God's timeline, not man's laughter, defines your destiny. Each word typed becomes a stone laid on the path of your vindication. When you comment, you're doing what prophets once did. You're marking alignment. You're agreeing that the fire didn't destroy you, it purified you. It's not a comment. It's a covenant between your spirit and heaven's movement. I rise means I will not return to silence. I will not bow to fear. I will walk forward even when the world doubts. Because I've learned that endurance itself is worship. So type it with meaning. Type it as prophecy. Type it knowing that while the world scrolls, heaven listens. I rise is your amen in digital ink, a signal that your story is no longer about survival but revelation. Heaven watches as you type your words, ignite unseen fire. And the same laughter that broke you now fuels your unstoppable, radiant ascension. There were years when waiting felt like punishment. You prayed and nothing moved. You tried and nothing opened. You wondered if heaven had forgotten your name. The silence was heavy, almost cruel, as if God had closed his mouth just when you needed his voice most. But now you see it was never abandonment. It was preparation. You were placed in the valley of waiting, not to waste time, but to be refined by it. Waiting has a way of teaching what speed never can. It slows your pulse so you can hear God's heartbeat again. It strips away distraction until the only sound left is faith breathing quietly within you. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 18. Yet the Lord longs to be gracious to you. Therefore he will rise up to show you compassion. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all who wait for him. Those words are not comfort, they are promise. Heaven does not forget the ones who wait. The Lord himself rises up to defend those who stay when others run, who hope when others mock. You remember those nights you sat alone, your phone silent, your spirit restless. Friends moved ahead, doors opened for others, and you stood still. You whispered, "Why not me?" That whisper rose higher than you think. It reached the throne, not as complaint, but as evidence. Because when a chosen one waits, it is never wasted time, it is documented faith. There was a man once who walked through the same kind of silence. His name was Joseph. The pit, the prison, the false accusations, each one felt like a delay. But heaven saw them as construction sites. Every lonely night was a foundation stone laid beneath his eventual palace. He didn't know it, but every disappointment was positioning him closer to his destiny. So too with you. The silence was not rejection, it was rearrangement. God was moving, puzzle pieces you couldn't see. He was hiding you, not punishing you. Because when something is precious, it's not displayed too soon. Diamonds aren't shown before they're set. The waiting valley is where God tests voices. He lets the noise fade so you'll recognize his whisper when it comes. And when that whisper finally arrives, it sounds like peace after storm, gentle but undeniable. That's how you'll know it's him. During your waiting, you learned endurance. You learned to stop depending on applause. You discovered that your strength doesn't come from validation, but from vision. The valley stripped away everything false until only purpose remained. It's strange how quiet seasons can feel like death, but actually birth life. The seed buried under soil doesn't scream, it breaks silently. Yet that breaking is its beginning. You, too, have been breaking quietly, but not into pieces, into purpose. You used to think waiting meant standing still, but now you know it's walking in faith without visible proof. Every prayer whispered through tears was a step forward. Every still I believe was movement, heaven measured. You have been progressing in ways unseen, gaining ground in realms invisible. Even the frustration had meaning. When nothing seemed to work, God was closing the wrong doors to protect your destiny from contamination. He was pruning connections, filtering voices, clearing paths. You didn't lose people, you lost distractions. You didn't fail, you were being fine-tuned. Now, as you look back, you can almost see it, how everything connected, how delays became direction. Every unanswered prayer was a divine redirection toward what truly belonged to you. There's beauty in hindsight, but there's holiness in patience. You lived through both. The valley that once felt endless has become sacred ground, the place where you stopped striving and started trusting. And that's when transformation happens. When your striving ends, grace begins to build. The valley becomes the classroom where faith graduates into wisdom. The same silence that once scared you now speaks peace over you. Do you remember how you used to fear being forgotten? You thought God's quiet meant disinterest, but heaven was actually preparing your unveiling. A stage can't be lit until it's built. And while you waited, the master carpenter was shaping your platform. Every delay was a mercy. Every pause was protection. The season of silence was heaven's shield around your destiny. And now, the same quiet that once terrified you will testify for you. Because those who learn to trust in the dark always shine brightest when the light returns. So, if you are still in that valley, still hearing nothing, don't mistake silence for absence. God is closer now than ever. Waiting isn't wasted when it's worship. Your valley is not your ending, it's the doorway to your rising. Soon, you'll look back and realize that the silence you feared was the sound of heaven building something unshakable inside you. There's a shift happening now, so gentle that you might miss it if you're not still enough to feel it. It begins like the soft tremor before dawn. When the world hasn't yet noticed that light is breaking through, heaven is turning its wheel, and the weight of years you've carried begins to lift. The same silence that once felt endless is giving way to sound subtle, divine, unmistakable. You can sense it in the air around you. People who once overlooked you suddenly remember your name. The opportunities that once seemed sealed are stirring again. The winds are changing direction, not against you, but toward you. This is what it feels like when heaven begins to shift. It was written in the Apostle Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And for a long time, that verse sounded distant, something beautiful but far away. But now you see it unfolding in your own life. The chaos that once seemed cruel now reveals its design. The heartbreak that nearly broke you is the very soil where new strength is growing. The laughter that once wounded you has become an echo fading behind you. When heaven shifts, the first thing that changes is not your situation, it's your sight. Suddenly, you see meaning in what once looked meaningless. You start recognizing the fingerprints of God in details you used to overlook. The pain that made no sense now tells a story of preparation. You were never being ignored. You were being aligned. Think of the tide. It withdraws before it returns stronger. That's what happened to you. Everything seemed to retreat, friends. Chances, favor, but it was the tide gathering strength. And now it returns, not in waves of loss, but in floods of restoration. The retreat was not rejection, it was rhythm. In the shifting of heaven, you will notice that peace replaces panic. Where anxiety once shouted, calmness now whispers. The inner noise that tormented you quiets, not because you understand everything, but because you trust again. That trust is the real miracle, the restoration of your heart after so many disappointments. The chosen always reach this moment. It's when heaven finally begins to balance the scales. Justice starts to find you. Blessings that were delayed begin to locate your name again. It's like standing in sunlight after years of rain. You blink, not because it's too bright, but because it's real. And yet, this moment is not loud. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. It comes softly, respectfully, almost shyly, as if heaven is inviting you to notice instead of forcing you to see. You are being restored quietly, gracefully. You don't need to announce it. People will sense it before you say a word. They will notice that something about you carries peace that cannot be faked. They will feel it in your tone, your stillness, Your unshakable calm. That's what divine alignment looks like. It speaks without speaking. This is where the shift becomes personal. Heaven begins to open your path, but it still waits for your consent to walk it. Not a command, but an invitation. You're not being pushed, you're being drawn. God doesn't demand surrender, He romances it. So as you feel this movement in your spirit, take a moment and breathe it in. You are being invited into partnership with heaven. It's not about pressure, it's about presence. This shift isn't a transaction, it's a dance. Heaven moves a step and waits for you to move too. You've watched from the sidelines long enough. The time for hesitation is over. The divine rhythm is calling, and your heart already knows the steps. There's no need for grand gestures, just one, yes. Quiet, but sincere. If this message touches something deep within you, if you feel that same invisible tremor that whispers, "It's time," then respond in your own way. Let your agreement rise, not through obligation, but through beauty. Maybe for you, that means pausing the noise of the world and simply liking what resonates, as if pressing that heart is your quiet. Amen. Maybe it means sharing this light, sending it to someone wandering in their own valley so they too can sense the dawn coming. Or maybe it's choosing to subscribe, not out of habit, but as an act of faith to stay close to the river where heaven keeps speaking. Do it not because you were told to, but because your spirit recognizes its home in this sound. Let your sharing be your offering. Let your connection be your confession that you still believe in divine timing. Because this isn't just content, it's communion. And if it speaks to you, then perhaps you are part of the same rhythm heaven is releasing across hearts right now. The shift has begun. The laughter is over. The silence is finished. Heaven is moving, and so are you. There comes a time when heaven's patience transforms into holy fire, the kind that doesn't burn the faithful, it burns the barriers. You've reached that time. The atmosphere around your life is shifting from delay to divine anger, not against you, but against everything that mocked His promise over you. The laughter that once rang against your destiny has awakened something in heaven. God is not indifferent. He is not distant. His silence was never weakness, it was restraint. But restraint has an end, and that end has come. What was tolerated before will be touched no more. We are reminded through the writings of the prophet Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and He knows those who trust in Him." This is not a threat, it's protection. His goodness and His anger are not opposites, they are partners. His wrath defends what His love designed. When God gets angry, it's not out of rage, but justice. He rises to protect the promise attached to your name. You have felt that stirring lately, haven't you? That sudden pressure in the spirit, that quiet conviction that something unseen is moving on your behalf. It's because heaven's court has reopened your case. The same file they laughed at, the one labeled impossible, has been pulled from the archives of time. God has said, enough. And there's an unseen line that the mockers crossed, the one drawn by mercy. They didn't know that while they laughed at you, they laughed at the God who called you. The fire now burns, not because of revenge, but because of covenant. You are His, and He will not let His word return void. Think of Moses standing before the Red Sea. The Israelites panicked, the Egyptians mocked. But what did God do? He split the waters with anger wrapped in mercy. That same divine tension is working around your life now. What was meant to drown you will open before you. What chased you will be silenced behind you. The anger of God is not random, it is precision. It finds the root of injustice and severs it. It visits every false word spoken over your name and sends it back empty. You don't need to argue anymore. Heaven has taken the microphone. Every spirit that laughed at your prayers, every voice that minimized your calling, every circumstance that dared to delay you, it all now stands under judgment. You won't have to lift your hand. Your endurance already did. Your quiet obedience has become heaven's evidence. In this divine moment, the fire is purifying your surroundings. Some people may drift away suddenly. Some opportunities may close. Don't panic. It's the flame at work. God's wrath burns away what's been feeding your fear. It clears the stage for your unveiling. There's a story of a woman who once felt this same shift. She was mocked for believing her barren womb could still hold promise. Year after year, the laughter grew. Yet she didn't curse the laughter. She cried before God. When the time came, heaven remembered her tears and turned mockery into motherhood. Her name was Hannah, and the fire that once hurt her became the light that led her son into prophecy. You carry that same anointing of reversal. Every humiliation is turning into harvest. Every insult is becoming incense before the throne. You are not being punished. You are being purified in the very fire meant to harm you. And when God finishes, you will see it. The laughter will stop, not because it's silenced, but because awe replaces it. They will watch you rise and won't have the language to explain it. That is how heaven answers mockery through manifestation. So let this truth settle deep. You are standing in the glow of divine anger that protects, not destroys. It's fire with purpose. It's correction cloaked in compassion. It's the roar of a father who refuses to let injustice define his child's story. Now, take a breath and steady your heart. The shaking you feel is not chaos, it's cleansing. You're being repositioned, rebuilt, reignited. Comment 555 below. Not as ritual, but as recognition that grace and fire walk hand in hand. Let it be your sign that you trust God's process, even when it burns. Because the flame is not your end, it's your unveiling. When you type 555, you're not just pressing numbers, you're declaring balance in fire. The number 5 speaks of grace. And when it triples, it multiplies mercy into motion. 555 means, I trust the process even when it burns. It's a spiritual signature that says, refine me, Lord, until only purpose remains. It's surrender without fear. Write it with faith, not superstition. It's your silent covenant that even through flame and pressure, you will emerge purified, sharpened, and ready for your divine unveiling. You can feel it before you can see it, the weight of vindication. It's not loud, not showy, but heavy and holy. It moves like a storm cloud, ready to break, full of promise, full of justice. Heaven is preparing to lift you in a way that no human hand can imitate. Vindication doesn't rush. It walks with deliberate steps, the kind that echo through generations. When God chooses to restore, He does it with weight, not speed. That's why you felt the air grow thick around you. It's not tension, it's transition. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 36. The Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees their strength is gone and no one is left." Unquote. Those words were not written for the proud. They were written for the weary. God waits until your own strength fades, so his power can be unmistakable. Vindication always begins where human effort ends. You thought the delays were punishment, but they were proof. God was making sure that when the victory came, there'd be no confusion about who deserved the glory. Every closed door, every false accusation, every misunderstanding, they were all setting the stage for divine correction. Vindication is not about making others pay. It's about proving that your faith was not foolish. It's about heaven stepping into history and saying, "This one was right to believe." That's why it comes slowly, why it often feels late. It's being written into eternity's timeline, not man's calendar. There was once a man who walked this same path. His name was Daniel. He was thrown into a den of lions, mocked for his devotion, ridiculed for his faith. The world thought the lions would devour him, but heaven thought differently. Vindication came not by silencing the lions, but by keeping them from harming him. The miracle wasn't escape, it was endurance. That's what God is doing for you now, proving that you can stand unharmed in the very place designed to destroy you. Vindication carries weight because it's not just for you. It becomes a banner for others who watch your life. Your story will teach them that silence doesn't mean surrender and waiting doesn't mean weakness. God is building a testimony so layered that others will find refuge in your resilience. That's why the process hurts so much. Vindication has a cost. It demands patience, humility, and pain. You had to lose things that weren't meant to stay so you could carry what truly mattered. You had to walk through nights where faith was your only friend, but those nights carved your voice into something heaven could trust. When God vindicates you, he does not do it privately. It will be seen. Though not for your vanity, he will raise you publicly, not to boast, but to broadcast that his word never fails. And when that day comes, you won't even crave revenge. The peace that settles in your heart will be too full, too complete. You'll look at the faces that once mocked you and feel no anger, only clarity. Now I see why it had to happen this way. Vindication doesn't erase the pain, but it redeems it. It takes the ashes of your endurance and molds them into a crown. It turns the wound into a window for light. The same story that once embarrassed you becomes the one you tell with tears of gratitude. Even now, God is gathering evidence on your behalf. The things people said behind your back, the lies that were believed, the truth you couldn't defend. He's collecting them like fragments of shattered glass, arranging them into a mosaic of glory. What was meant to shame you will soon shine. So do not be surprised when peace feels heavier than pain. That's what vindication feels like. It's not noise, it's the silence after thunder, the stillness after battle. It's heaven saying, "You've endured enough, now watch me speak." Your vindication is not a single event, it's a season. It will unfold gradually, like dawn creeping across the sky. People who once doubted will start to wonder. The ones who left will look back with awe. But you'll just stand still, knowing that you didn't fight for it. God did. This is the justice of heaven, not hurried, not harsh, but holy. It corrects with compassion, and it restores with precision. You are about to feel that weight settle, a holy heaviness that doesn't crush but confirms. The story that once brought you shame is becoming sacred proof. Your vindication has already begun. You don't need to chase it. You only need to walk in it. Heaven's balance has tilted in your favor. Heaven's gavel has fallen, your name cleared. Your season shifted, and the weight you carried now turns to light, guiding others home. The tables always turn, but never by accident. When heaven reverses a story, it doesn't do it quietly, it does it perfectly. The same ground where you once stood in shame will soon carry the sound of your restoration. What used to be a place of tears becomes a platform for triumph. You will not have to search for vindication. It will find you where you once fell. There is a divine poetry in how God writes reversals. He uses the same ink of your pain to sign the decree of your breakthrough. What once looked like ashes now gleams like gold dust in sunlight. Every humiliation you endured was not wasted. It was woven into something radiant. We find it written in the first letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. That, the fire never lied. It revealed, it showed the strength you didn't know you had. The same flames that tried to consume you became the very light that exposed your worth. What was meant to destroy ended up defining you. There's a rhythm to divine reversals. God doesn't only lift you, He lifts you where you once fell. It's not just redemption, it's precision. Every wound that bled in public becomes a miracle that heals in the same place. The laughter that surrounded your pain will now surround your praise. Imagine a theater. You once stood on that stage under the spotlight of ridicule. Every mistake, every failure, every crack in your armor was visible. You bowed your head, certain the show was over. But heaven never called curtain. It was simply an intermission. And now, the same stage is being set again, but this time, the applause will be for your endurance. That's what divine fire does. It turns your humiliation into holy ground. Every tear you cried is now part of the oil that lights your testimony. You were not buried, you were planted. You were not broken, you were being shaped. You can feel the reversal approaching. It hums beneath your skin. Subtle, yet certain. Things are starting to align. Not because you forced them, but because time has matured your promise. The weight of waiting has produced wisdom. The pain of pruning has made space for glory. Sometimes, God lets you sit in the ashes so that when He raises you, no one can deny it was Him. They saw you at your lowest. Now they'll see you rise by grace alone. The contrast is the message. The same mouths that mocked will now marvel. The same audience that laughed will stand in silent awe. Don't despise the ashes, they're sacred. Ashes are proof that something once burned but didn't consume you. They tell the world, yes, I've been through fire, but I still stand. They carry the scent of survival, and from those ashes, something breathtaking is forming, a new version of you, refined and untouchable. There's a strange calm that follows the storm, the moment when you realize you're still standing. That calm isn't emptiness, it's evidence. The storm didn't win. The ridicule didn't kill you. You've outlasted the mockery, and that is the victory itself. When the tables turn, it will happen naturally. You won't have to prove anything. God's hand will speak louder than your defense ever could. The shift will be so clear that even silence will feel like celebration. And when it happens, don't rush to remind people of how they treated you. You won't need to. The glory will speak for itself. The same people who laughed will have no choice but to acknowledge what they see. The unmistakable hand of God resting upon your life. The reversal won't just restore what was lost, it will multiply it. Every delay will return with interest. Every missed opportunity will reappear. Enlarged and refined, you'll stand there, not as the same person who once wept, but as someone transformed by endurance. This is what it means when heaven turns tables. It doesn't flip them in anger, it resets them for communion. The meal that once fed your sorrow will now nourish your joy. The fire that once surrounded you will now light your path. And as you walk forward, the ground itself will feel different, softer, safer, as though heaven laid down a carpet of peace beneath your feet. What once broke you now bows to you. The ashes beneath you no longer whisper of loss, they shimmer with promise. Every spark that once scorched you now glows softly, lighting the road ahead with quiet dignity and holy memory. Walk gently on that ground, it's sacred now. The fire didn't destroy you, it baptized you. What once burned now blesses every step you take. There comes a silence deeper than peace, the silence that follows victory. You've felt it lately, haven't you? The noise around your name has faded. Those who once laughed have gone quiet. Not because they understand, but because heaven has hushed them. Every false word has lost its echo. What remains is truth clear, unshakable, radiant. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. The same voices that mocked your faith now speak your name with hesitation. They sense something they can't explain. It isn't revenge, it's revelation. Heaven has shifted the atmosphere, and every tongue that rose against you now trembles beneath the weight of God's justice. We read in the writings of David, in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." That verse has come alive around you. You are living proof of its power. The same setting that once hosted your shame has become your sanctuary. The very table where they mocked is now the altar where grace feeds you. You're not dining in hiding, you're feasting in full view. This is how heaven answers mockery, not with thunder, but with peace so undeniable it silences the proud. Vindication has no need to shout. It walks quietly, like oil poured over your head, soaking deep until even your steps leave fragrance behind. You'll notice the change. Those who once spoke lightly of you now watch in awe. They don't know when it happened, they just sense you are no longer reachable by ridicule. Something divine has wrapped around you like a shield. There's a sacred irony in this. They once waited to see you fail, but now they watch to see how you endure glory. God doesn't humiliate your enemies, He educates them through your elevation. The lesson is written in your calm, in your refusal to gloat. That's how the chosen walk quietly, with crowns invisible but undeniable. You don't owe explanations. You owe their gratitude. You've seen too much mercy to waste breath on proving anything. Let silence remain your song. When you speak now, let your words heal, not retaliate. Let your peace be louder than their past laughter. Even now, heaven continues to rewrite your reputation. What once was rumor is now reverence. What used to be scorn is now respect, not because you fought for it, but because you stayed still while God moved. You've entered a new frequency of favor. The very air around you feels cleaner, lighter, It's not pride, it's presence. You walk with the calm of someone who has survived fire and learned to glow without smoke. And as you rise, remember, this victory is not just yours. It's for every heart that still waits for their own reversal. You are their proof that endurance works, that silence is not surrender, that laughter loses its power when heaven speaks. Let this moment sink in. You are seated at that divine table now. Your cup runs over, not with revenge, but restoration. And the oil on your head, it carries the scent of lessons learned, of scars healed, of promises fulfilled. When you lift your eyes, don't look back at the laughter, look at the feast. Look at the abundance that grew from ashes. Look at the peace that came from patience. You didn't just survive, you've been crowned in stillness. So, if your spirit feels this shift, if your heart recognizes the table now spread before you, then let your soul whisper the truth. Heaven already knows. Comment, I'm here. And because in doing so, you're not announcing triumph, you're acknowledging transformation. You're saying, I no longer chase approval, I dwell in promise. That simple phrase becomes your agreement with heaven's silence, your quiet declaration that peace has replaced pain forever. When you write, I'm here, you are not just identifying your presence, you're affirming your survival. You're saying, I made it through the laughter, through the silence, through the fire, and I am still standing. It's more than a comment, it's a confession. You're whispering to heaven, I did not run from the valley. I waited. I endured. And I watched you turn ridicule into revelation. Every letter in those 2 words carries the sound of endurance wrapped in gratitude. When you say, I'm here, it's like lighting a candle in the temple of your journey. It illuminates everything. You've overcome the sleepless nights, the misunderstood prayers, the quiet perseverance that no one applauded. You are declaring that presence itself is victory. Write it not to be noticed, but to acknowledge. You are here not by accident, but by divine orchestration. Every trial led you to this point. Every delay brought you to this table. I'm here is heaven's favorite sound tonight, the echo of one who refused to disappear. The crown never arrives with noise, it arrives with peace. There's a quiet weight that rests on your head when God decides the time has come. You've walked through humiliation. You've tasted the lay. And now heaven begins to place what was always yours. The ashes beneath your feet are cool now. The smoke has cleared. And from the ruins rises something unmistakable glory. It was written by the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, a garment of praise instead of despair. You are that verse come alive. You are the testimony that beauty can grow out of burned ground. The same tears that once fell onto the soil have watered your crown. The laughter of others has become the rhythm of your new beginning. Being crowned doesn't mean being elevated above others. It means being restored to who you were before the world told you to shrink. The crown is not metal, it's memory. It's the moment you finally understand that nothing was wasted. Every rejection, every wound, every prayer you whispered into the dark, all of it has become gold woven into your new identity. You'll notice the difference in how you move now. You no longer run after validation. You walk in quiet assurance. You no longer crave to be seen. You carry light without effort. The same voice that once begged for answers now speaks peace into places still waiting for theirs. That's what happens when God crowns you. Your focus shifts from proving to praising. The crown doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you've always been. It pulls from within the dignity that trials tried to steal. The ashes that once clung to your skin now shimmer like silver dust under morning light. You were never buried. You were being refined. This new season will not begin with applause. It will begin with breath, with the still realization that the battle is over. And you are still standing. The air feels lighter, not because the world changed, but because you have. You will walk back into places that once broke you. But you'll carry no bitterness, only blessing. You'll look at faces that once mocked you and feel no anger, only compassion. Because when God crowns a person, He also enlarges their heart. The same fire that once burned you becomes the warmth that helps others heal. You don't need to announce that you've been crowned. People will feel it in your peace, hear it in your words, and see it in how you treat them. Glory is quiet confidence. It doesn't demand attention, it draws it. Think of a sunrise. It never shouts. It simply appears. And the world adjusts to its brilliance. That's how your elevation will unfold, not in sudden drama, but in a slow and sacred unveiling. One by one, the shadows that once surrounded you will retreat. One by one, the doors that once resisted you will open. And when that happens, pause. Let your gratitude breathe. This is not a reward for perfection. It's a recognition of endurance. The God who saw your secret faith is honoring you in the open. If your spirit feels this unfolding, if something within you whispers, "This is me," then let your heart respond naturally. Let your gestures become your gratitude. Like this moment, the way you'd light a candle in a quiet chapel, small, sincere, personal. Share it the way you'd share bread with a traveler, not for attention, but because nourishment multiplies when given. And if your heart finds home here, subscribe, not as a task, but as a testimony that you want to keep walking beside words that remind you of heaven's rhythm. These simple acts are not obligations, they're offerings. Every click, every share, every small action becomes symbolic. Your way of saying, "I recognize beauty for what it is. I choose to honor what's sacred when it finds me." You've reached the part of your journey where doing less means believing more. You don't have to chase meaning, you only have to carry it. You don't need to prove your faith, you embody it with every peaceful breath. You are crowned now, not because people see it, but because heaven declared it. You have become the living sermon of redemption. The ashes that once defined you are gone, replaced by radiance. And wherever you go, you will leave a trail of quiet glory, a reminder that divine fire does not destroy, it purifies. The light resting on you now doesn't blind, it beckons. It's not the light of performance, but of peace, the glow of someone finally becoming what they were always meant to be. Walk softly, crowned one. Every step you take now teaches the world that resurrection is real, and grace always wins quietly. Names carry stories. Yours has carried storms. For a long time, people spoke your name with misunderstanding, twisting it into shadows that never belonged to you. They defined you by the moments you fell, not by the grace that helped you rise. But God never lost sight of who you truly were. And now, the same name, once dragged through, dust will shine like metal freshly polished. We are reminded through the words of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. The restoration of your name begins quietly, but powerfully. It happens when heaven speaks your name differently. You'll feel it first in small confirmations, a sudden peace where there was once panic, favor where there was once rejection, unexpected kindness after long silence. Heaven starts whispering your identity again, washing away the dust of false labels. There's a deep healing in being renamed by truth. For so long, others attached meanings to your life that God never wrote. They called you too late, too broken, too much, not enough. But each of those words has lost its authority. Every false title is being stripped away, replaced by one simple word written in eternal ink, chosen. When God restores a name, He doesn't just repair reputation, He restores dignity. You begin to walk differently. You speak more gently. The same tongue that once tried to defend itself now knows it no longer has to. Vindication has done its work, and peace has taken its place. Your name becomes a key again, unlocking doors that once refused to open. That's the meaning of Revelation's promise, heaven opening what no one can close. The things that were withheld are returning, not through striving, but through alignment. It's not about chasing opportunities anymore. It's about standing still and letting what's yours recognize you. Imagine your name as a seed buried deep. For years, it seemed forgotten, unseen, stepped on, but underneath, life was happening. Roots were forming. Now, the soil begins to shift. The name that once lay silent is breaking through, sprouting upward into the sunlight of divine recognition. Restoration isn't about noise, it's about resonance. You'll know it's happening when your surroundings begin to respond differently. People who once overlooked you will start speaking your name with softness, respect, even wonder. It won't be forced. Heaven will arrange their hearts to remember who you are. And yet, the most sacred part of restoration is not public, it's personal. It's that quiet moment when you hear your name in prayer, and it no longer sounds heavy. When you whisper it to yourself and feel peace instead of pain. When you look in the mirror and see not what you lost, but what survived. The Lord is not only restoring your reputation, He's restoring your reflection. The version of you that thought survival was the goal is now realizing that thriving was always the plan. Your name carries the sound of endurance, the melody of one who walked through fire and found gold within the ashes. This restoration will reach further than you expect. It will touch relationships, work, dreams, and identity. Every sphere where your name was diminished will now experience increase. The ripple of redemption will move through everything attached to you. You will no longer introduce yourself with apology. You'll no longer shrink when your name is mentioned. The same syllables that once echoed with shame will now sing with grace. Your name will carry authority again, not power over people, but power over darkness. It will remind every force that tried to erase you that heaven keeps records no one can edit. Let the world keep its opinions. You have heaven's decree, and heaven's word cannot be undone. The one who opened your door will guard it. The one who spoke your name will establish it. No slander, no rumor, No lie can overwrite what God Himself has declared. This is the new chapter, the one where your name becomes light again. The label of rejection has been peeled away. The tag of failure has fallen. What remains is truth. You were never forgotten, never disqualified, never erased, only hidden until the time was right. And that time is now. The sound of your name will carry differently in this season. It will no longer be associated with loss, but with resurrection. When people hear it, they'll feel peace. When heaven hears it, it will smile. Your name no longer echoes with pain, it hums with purpose. Every syllable now carries light. Each letter redeemed by the mercy that refused to forget you. Speak it with peace now. Let it remind you that heaven remembers accurately, not cruelly. You are called, restored, and finally known. Fire never leaves things the same. When it passes, it either destroys or refines. And for you, it has refined. You have been through flames that should have consumed you. Yet here you are, purified instead of perished. Heaven has turned wrath into renewal. And where pain once ruled, peace now reigns. The process was not easy. There were moments when the heat was unbearable, when you questioned whether any good could come from such breaking. But every spark had intention. Every tear that fell in the fire became steam that rose as intercession. The flames didn't burn your purpose, they burned what clung to it. We are reminded in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 29, "For our God is a consuming fire." Those words once sounded fearful, but now they sound faithful. His fire didn't come to destroy you, it came to define you. You are living proof that divine anger can become divine artistry. Every season of your life has passed through the fire's touch. The mockery, the rejection, the silence, all of it entered the flame. And what has emerged now is the purified version of you, the self that cannot be shaken by opinion, temptation, or fear. Think of the blacksmith again. The sword in his hands must face both flame and hammer before it shines. Every strike, every spark, every hiss of metal meeting fire is purpose disguised as pain. That's what happened to your soul. Heaven has been hammering weakness into strength, doubt into confidence, and fear into faith. There's a reason gold glows most brightly after pressure. There's a reason you feel lighter even after loss. Refinement strips you of what isn't eternal, until only truth remains. You are learning to live unburdened, untethered from past versions of yourself. The fire was necessary because destiny requires purity, and purity is not perfection, it's focus. You've been purified of distraction, of the need to prove, of the habit of chasing acceptance. Now, you walk with clear sight. Your purpose is not clouded by noise anymore. You may not have noticed, but your language has changed. You no longer speak from survival, you speak from stillness. You don't pray for escape, you pray for endurance. That's the voice of someone who's been refined. It's not desperation anymore, it's direction. People may wonder how you survived, what broke others. They'll ask how you still believe, how you still love after betrayal, how you still glow after the fire. And you'll smile softly, because you know the fire didn't steal your light. It revealed it. That's the paradox of refinement. What was meant to erase you instead unveiled your essence. You shine now, not because life became easy, but because grace made you inextinguishable. There's a story heaven loves to tell through fire, that of the 3 Hebrew men Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into flames for their faith. But when they came out, not even the smell of smoke clung to them. That is your story too. The flames you endured were real, but the residue of pain no longer remains. You carry no scent of sorrow, only the aroma of survival. And now, as the fire cools, you begin to see its artistry. You see that the heat shaped you into something unbreakable. You understand that holiness is not avoiding flame, it's trusting the one who walks with you in it. That's what God has done, turned wrath into refuge. His fire has become your shield. Every spark that once threatened to destroy has now illuminated your path. The same intensity that once terrified you now warms you. You are entering a season where fire becomes your friend. It will no longer frighten you because you've learned its language. You'll recognize that when flames appear again, they come to forge, not to finish. You'll step into them with calm assurance. Knowing refinement is the rhythm of the chosen, so when you look at your scars, see them as signatures of survival. When you remember the heat, thank the one who stood beside you in it. You were not alone for a single second. The fire you feared became the furnace of your faith. Let this truth live deep in you. You were not burned. You were branded by purpose. You carry the mark of the refined, the quiet glow of someone heaven has trusted with transformation. And now, as a seal of agreement between your endurance and heaven's promise, let your heart bear witness through action. Comment 333 below. Not as superstition, but as sacred symbolism. The number 3 has always whispered of completion, Father, Son, Spirit, unity in motion. Writing 333 is your way of saying, I've been through the fire, but I've come out whole. Each digit mirrors the stages you've endured, the breaking, the burning, the becoming. Together, they declare that the process is not punishment, but perfection. So, type it softly, reverently, as a declaration that refinement has finished its work in you. There are moments in history when heaven itself steps into the room, not through thunder, but through defense. You can feel it when you least expect it, the quiet assurance that you are no longer standing alone. This is the season where heaven speaks for you. There was a time when your voice trembled, when you tried to explain, to prove, to justify. You spent nights replaying conversations, wondering how to make others see what only God could know. But those days have ended. The judge has risen, and the courtroom of heaven is now in session. It was written in the first letter of John, chapter 2, verse 1, If anyone sins, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous. Those words are more than comfort. They are courtroom truth. The advocate doesn't argue to persuade. He declares to restore. His words carry the authority of the one who already paid every debt in your name. You don't need to plead your case anymore. Heaven has taken the stand for you. Every false accusation that hovered over your life, every misinterpretation that wounded your name, every rumor that spread faster than your truth, God has gathered them all and placed them before His Son, who answers not with anger, but with evidence, your endurance, your faith, your repentance, your transformation. You've been standing on trial in the eyes of many, silently, but heaven has been your unseen attorney, rewriting every narrative in the archives of eternity. those who once condemned will find their words powerless. For the case against you has been closed with divine finality. This is what it means when heaven speaks your defense. You don't fight with noise, you stand with knowledge. You stop striving to be understood, because heaven's verdict already defines your identity. You were never guilty of being too much or not enough. You were simply growing into grace. When God defends you, He doesn't always expose your enemies. Sometimes He silences them through your elevation. Sometimes He changes their hearts instead of punishing their mouths. The defense of heaven is not vengeance, it's vindication wrapped in mercy. Imagine a courtroom where the judge removes his robe, steps down from the bench, and stands beside you. That's what the cross represents. The one who should have judged became your defender. And that defense continues even now, not because you are perfect, but because you are His. This divine defense isn't just about protection, it's about restoration. Heaven defends you publicly because you honored God privately. You didn't curse those who wronged you. You didn't let bitterness harden your spirit. You trusted the unseen advocate when evidence was thin. That trust is now your testimony. Even now, angels are being dispatched to rewrite what was spoken wrongly about you. Conversations you'll never hear are being corrected. People who once believed lies about you are waking up with conviction they can't explain. That's how heaven defends, subtly, effectively, completely. You will begin to see it unfold in small ways. Where once doors were closed because of misunderstanding, they will open without explanation. Where your name was excluded, it will reappear in honor. Where your heart was dismissed, it will be remembered. The divine advocate works not by argument, but by manifestation. When heaven speaks, even silence listens. There's no shouting, no proof required, only presence. Those who once doubted you will find peace around you now, not because you changed, but because truth has finally caught up. You won't even feel the need to celebrate your defense. It will feel natural, like breathing after years underwater. The relief will not come from victory, it will come from rest. You'll realize that vindication was never about winning, it was about being free. Your part is simple: remain still. Don't defend what heaven has already declared clean. Don't reopen the case God has closed. Let peace speak louder than pride. Let humility become the echo of your defense. And as you walk forward, carry this truth gently. God's voice will always be louder than man's memory. The world may remember your mistake, but heaven remembers your progress. The two are never equal. This is the beauty of divine defense. It turns every accusation into a platform for mercy. What was once meant to crush you now becomes your credibility. What was used to shame you becomes your story's strength. Heaven is not defending your past, it's defending your future. You are walking proof that grace doesn't erase history, it redeems it. Every scar you carry is now evidence, not of failure, but of favor. And when all is said and done, the same mouths that once spread rumors will bless your name, because heaven's verdict leaves no room for dispute. Heaven's final word echoes through eternity, redeemed, unshaken, unstoppable. No accusation remains, only grace standing where judgment once spoke. There are moments when heaven chooses visibility. It takes what was hidden for years, your endurance, your faithfulness, your silent obedience, and lifts it into the open air. This is that moment. What was private is becoming public. not for applause, but for proof. Your reversal will not be quiet. It will be seen, and its purpose will be revelation, not revenge. We read in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2, "There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known." Those words once carried warning, but now they carry promise for you. Disclosure means divine recognition. Heaven is pulling back the curtain, allowing what was cultivated in secret to bloom in sight. Every tear that fell in silence has become a seed waiting for this sunlight. You are about to witness how mercy walks into daylight. For a long time, you thought the quiet obedience went unnoticed, the whispered prayers unheard. You believed your service in the shadows was too small to matter. But heaven never wastes humility. Every hidden act of faithfulness is now being recorded in light. God does not reward public pride. He rewards private perseverance. He watched the moments when you refused to curse what hurt you. He saw the decisions you made that no one clapped for. Those unseen sacrifices are about to echo across your story. When heaven decides to reveal, it doesn't need permission from circumstance. It simply speaks, and things align. Suddenly, the people who once forgot your name remember it. The ones who ignored your message begin to listen. The ground beneath you shifts, not because you shouted louder, but because truth finally found its voice. It's strange how justice moves quietly, consistently, and then all at once. One day, everything looks the same. The next day, doors open, favor flows, and you realize this was the moment heaven had been building toward all along. But understand this. The public reversal is not just about your elevation. It's a message written for those who are still waiting. When others see what God does with your story, they'll find hope for their own. Your restoration becomes instruction. Your comeback becomes confirmation. God never wastes pain, and He never hides restoration forever. The same stage that once hosted your rejection will host your renewal. The same voices that said never will have to witness now. And you won't have to lift your hand to make it happen. Heaven has already begun. Public reversals are powerful because they reveal God's heart, not man's hierarchy. The purpose isn't to boast, but to broadcast mercy, to show that those who trust in God are never truly forsaken. When He lifts one, He teaches many. Think of Job. His loss was public, his pain visible to all. But so was his restoration. The same community that watched him break, watched him rise again. That's how heaven works. It redeems in the open what was ridiculed in the open. You may feel unprepared for visibility after years of silence. You've grown used to hiding, to keeping dreams close, to expecting little. But the time of concealment has ended. The very humility you learned in the valley will protect you on the mountain. Visibility won't corrupt you. It will confirm you. When the spotlight comes, it will not blind you, because you've already learned to see in darkness. When recognition arrives, it won't inflate your pride, because you've lived through emptiness. You've been trained for both anonymity and acknowledgement. You will carry glory with grace. This new visibility will carry peace, not pressure. You won't feel the need to explain yourself or justify your blessings. You will simply exist as testimony living, breathing evidence that the God who hid you was also preparing to display you. And those who doubted will come to understand what they once dismissed. Some will ask for forgiveness. Others will stand in silent awe. You won't need to respond. Your existence in that moment will be answer enough. It's not about being seen by the world, it's about being seen by heaven and then reflected through the world. Your story has become a mirror through which others can glimpse the patience and precision of divine timing. The shift will not be violent, it will be graceful. Like dawn spilling across mountains that have waited centuries for the sun. You won't force it, and you won't fear it. You'll simply recognize it and walk in it, steady and sure. So when the moment comes, lift your head gently. Don't look around to measure reactions. Look upward to acknowledge the source. Let gratitude guide your steps into this new exposure. You were hidden on purpose, and now you are revealed with purpose. The public reversal is not just your reward, it's God's reminder to the watching world that faith still works, that obedience still matters, and that those who trust quietly will always shine, eventually. There's a kind of glory that cannot be denied, the kind that doesn't announce itself, yet fills the room the moment you walk in. It's the quiet radiance of a soul that has survived refining fire. You carry it now. You are no longer striving to be seen. You are simply being, and the light of what you've endured speaks louder than any introduction. This is the moment when even your enemies will have to admit what they once denied. The fruit is undeniable. The peace on your face, the calm in your tone, the steadiness in your steps, all of it declares something they can't dispute. The favor of God rests upon you. It is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 18, and we all, who, with unveiled faces, contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory. You are walking in that verse now. The fear that once defined your decisions has dissolved. The courage that used to tremble now stands tall. You've become the living evidence of God's promise to be present in every valley and visible in every victory. This glory is not loud, it's luminous. It doesn't need to be declared, it needs only to be carried. It's a different kind of strength, soft, sure, sacred. You're not trying to prove you've arrived, you simply embody arrival. The old version of you needed validation, but this new version walks with quiet authority. When God marks you with glory, it's not for show, it's for purpose. That light you carry will draw others near, not because of how you shine, but because of how you make them feel safe in your glow. You will become a refuge to those who once mocked your faith, but now long for its peace. This is what divine elevation truly means, not crowns, not titles, but clarity. You finally know who you are and whose you are. You no longer chase the wind, you move with it. You no longer beg for belonging, you build belonging wherever you stand. Look back once more at the path behind you. The laughter, the silence, the fire, the waiting. Every stage was necessary. Every ache was prophetic. The pain was not punishment. It was prophecy preparing its platform. The laughter was not cruelty. It was a cue that heaven was about to act. Now you walk as proof that suffering and glory are not opposites. They are stages of the same story. The glory you carry now shines precisely because of where you've been. Light only makes sense after darkness. Peace only means something after storm. People will ask you what changed. Tell them truthfully, nothing on the outside, everything on the inside. The fire didn't gift you new blessings. It revealed old ones that were always waiting beneath the surface. You've become like stained glass. What once shattered now refracts light into colors unimaginable. The cracks didn't disqualify you. They became your design. Through them, grace pours out in hues of gold, violet, and crimson, the proof that God doesn't fix people. He transforms them. If this moment feels like it's speaking to your heart, let it. Don't rush to analyze it. Just breathe it in. When you feel something, stir a warmth, a sense of recognition that's heaven, confirming alignment. And if that recognition fills you with peace, let your response be as natural as breath. Like this message, if it mirrors what your spirit already knows, do it not for me, but as your quiet amen. A soft agreement with heaven's rhythm moving through your life. Share it the way. Morning shares light, freely, without thought, so that others walking in their own dark night may glimpse dawn through you. And if you feel drawn to walk with these words again, subscribe as an act of staying connected to light, the way a flame leans toward its source. And if peace floods your heart as you read, comment. Light lives, not for attention, but as testimony that the flame within you still burns gently after every storm. That comment becomes a small altar, a sign that your light has survived the fire and still glows. Each of these gestures is more than an action. It's worship disguised as simplicity. You're not clicking, you're confessing that hope still feels beautiful to you. You're saying, I still believe in what I cannot yet see. You have become the echo of divine restoration, the living example that grace finishes what pain begins. Walk with your glow, let it teach without speaking, heal without touching, lead without demanding. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more light like yours. The world doesn't just see your light, it feels it. Every silent step you take becomes a whisper of healing, a quiet reminder that grace, once tested by fire, always returns, shining brighter. You are not walking alone anymore. Look closely. Others are beginning to appear on the path. Faces that mirror your past. Hearts that carry the same bruises. You recognize them instantly, not by sight, but by spirit. They are the ones who were mocked, the ones who waited, the ones who endured. You are walking among the chosen, those heaven has marked with the same quiet fire. This is the march of the redeemed. It doesn't sound like thunder, it sounds like peace. Each step is steady, measured, sacred. These are not conquerors by force, they are conquerors by faith. Their weapons are endurance and mercy, their armor woven from obedience. You are one of them now, carrying both the memory of pain and the fragrance of deliverance. We find in the scroll of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 1, Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but He will heal us. He has injured us, but He will bind our wounds. That verse describes this procession perfectly. Every person beside you has been torn, yet healed. Every soul here has scars that shine. What once felt like punishment has turned into proof evidence that God's hands never truly let go, even when they pressed hard enough to reshape. As you walk, you notice something beautiful. No one here competes. No one rushes. Each carries their own story, and every story adds light to the collective glow. The march of the chosen is not a parade of perfection, it's a pilgrimage of restoration. You see a man ahead whose eyes once carried despair, now filled with steady fire. You notice a woman whose tears used to fall without end, now smiling at the sky as if she finally understands why it rained. These are your brothers and sisters, not by blood, but by battle. You belong among them. There was a time when you thought you were the only one fighting unseen wars. Now you realize you were never alone. Heaven has always had its army, quiet and radiant, scattered across every nation, every age. The mocked ones, the waiting ones, the misunderstood, all marching toward the same promise, redemption, visible and complete. This march isn't about conquering lands, it's about reclaiming hearts. Every step forward shakes the ground beneath oppression. Every breath exhaled releases mercy into the world. Together, you move like waves, soft but unstoppable. Look again at your feet. The dust that rises isn't from exhaustion, it's the dust of resurrection. You are walking on the very ground that once buried your dreams. Now it trembles beneath the weight of fulfilled prophecy. You will see many faces during this journey, some familiar, some completely new. Each one will remind you of a part of yourself. Some will need your strength for a while, others will lend you theirs. That's the rhythm of the chosen community, giving and receiving light until everyone glows. It's not just movement, it's music. Listen closely. The rhythm of these footsteps forms a heartbeat. It's the pulse of heaven's unity, echoing through the earth. Every story here harmonizes into a single song. Grace wins again. And in this march, there are no ranks. The first and the last move together. The strong carry the weary, and the weary carry wisdom. Every testimony becomes a torch, lighting the way for those still lost in shadow. You may wonder why God allows this collective revealing now. It's because the world has grown dim and needs this light, not the blinding kind, but the living kind, the kind that has survived storms, the kind that loves deeply because it has been broken completely. As you walk, you'll notice miracles sprouting like wildflowers at your feet, reconciliations where there was bitterness, hope where there was silence, beauty in the places everyone abandoned. The chosen carry restoration wherever they go. Their very presence alters the atmosphere. And in the distance, you'll see a horizon unlike any you've known, glowing, vast, endless. That's where you're headed. Not toward fame, not toward recognition, but toward fulfillment. The march doesn't end in applause, it ends in peace. Soon, you'll understand that this movement is not about arrival, it's about alignment. Heaven and earth moving in rhythm, faith and fire, walking hand in hand. Every soul here carries a spark of the same eternal flame. And together, you are forming a constellation that darkness cannot erase. Keep walking, keep breathing. You are part of a living prophecy, the generation of light bearers who prove that redemption is not a story of one, but of many. The laughter that once mocked you has turned into a chorus of praise, and the valley that once held your tears is now echoing with footsteps of victory. And when your feet finally rest, the ground itself will remember you. Every tear sown here will bloom again, singing softly to heaven. They endured, they believed, and now they shine. This is the final stretch, the place where everything once broken begins to hum in harmony. You can feel it in your chest. The weight that once crushed now becomes the rhythm that carries you. The laughter of those who mocked has vanished into silence, and what remains is sacred stillness. Heaven has finished its work. The story that began with pain ends with peace. You have walked through every valley, faced every test, and endured every flame. What remains now is the crown unseen but undeniable, placed upon you not by human hands, but by the one who watched every step of your journey. The air around you feels lighter, as if even creation recognizes that something divine has concluded. We hear the ancient promise in the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 9, "The glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will grant peace." In that verse is your reflection. The latter season of your life will not resemble the former. What once began in humiliation will end in holiness. Every ounce of struggle is now being exchanged for significance. The pain that shaped you has become the material of your purpose. You stand now at the edge of fulfillment. The mountain that once seemed impossible has become the view beneath your feet. It's not pride that fills your chest, it's gratitude. You finally understand why it all happened. The detours, the delays, the denials, they weren't punishment. They were divine choreography. You were being positioned for this exact moment. Everything has come full circle. The laughter that once wounded you taught you compassion. The fire that once terrified you taught you endurance. The silence that once confused you taught you to listen. And through it all, God was building something unshakable inside you, an identity that no storm could steal. You are not who you were when this began. The fearful one has become fearless. The overlooked one has become radiant. The broken one has become whole. Every version of you that the world tried to bury has resurrected, carrying a crown forged from both suffering and strength. You may not see a throne, but you are seated in authority, the authority of peace. It's the kind that doesn't demand to be seen, yet everything around you feels it. The atmosphere bends to your calm. The storms quiet at your whisper. You walk now not as a survivor, but as a steward of grace. And yet, this ending isn't just about you, it's about the warning. Heaven leaves for those who watched without understanding. For those who mocked the chosen, God leaves a reminder written in mercy, but edged in fire. Never laugh at the seed heaven has planted. What looks small today might be sacred tomorrow. What you dismiss in the dark may shine brighter than you in the light. God's anger toward mockery is not cruelty, it is protection. When he defends his chosen, he defends his own reflection. You are that reflection now, a living testament that heaven's patience has purpose, but its justice has precision. The mocker's laughter has faded, but the lesson remains eternal. Never dishonor what God is building. Even when you don't understand it, you carry the balance between mercy and fire. The same grace that saved you now flows through you. You've become both message and messenger. When people encounter you, they will feel conviction and comfort intertwined. You are living proof that divine anger always ends in divine love. Stand tall in that truth. Let peace rest on your shoulders like a mantle. The battle is over. The verdict has been spoken. You are crowned, covered, and called. The journey that began in ridicule ends in reverence. You no longer need to announce who you are. The evidence walks beside you in every breath. From now on, your life will preach without words. Your presence will carry prophecy. When others see you, they'll see redemption embodied, grace materialized, glory walking. And as you look back one final time, remember this: everything that hurt you was holy. Everything that delayed you was divine. Every mockery, every tear, Every test, it all had to happen exactly as it did, because without it, you would never have become the light that darkness could not comprehend. This is your seal, your completion, your final word. Heaven has spoken, history agrees. You are not merely restored, you are renewed, radiant, and reigning. The crown is yours, the fire is your friend, and the laughter of your enemies has become the applause of angels. The story closes, but the light remains. What began in ashes now breathes in color your life. A living psalm of restoration, forever whispering, grace remembers, fire refines, and chosen ones always rise. And as that whisper fades into stillness, heaven smiles. The circle is complete. You have become both testimony and torch, carrying eternity's glow into a world still learning to see. You've reached the end of this journey, and yet something inside tells you it isn't truly an ending. It feels more like a sunrise, the kind that doesn't shout its arrival, but slowly paints everything gold. The words may fade from the screen, but their echo continues in you. Everything that was meant to break you has now become part of your becoming. Every tear has turned into ink, every silence into sound. You are no longer reading a story, you are living one. Heaven has finished writing, but you will keep walking, carrying light through the pages of your own life. This moment is sacred because it belongs to you. You made it through every section, every fire, every whisper of doubt, and still, you stand steady, radiant, chosen. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. The same presence that met you in pain now meets you in peace. If these words found you, it means they were meant for you, not to demand, but to remind, not to instruct, but to awaken. And if something stirred within you, if your chest feels a quiet warmth, if your spirit hums with calm recognition, then let that be your yes. Like this moment, as an act of gratitude, a small flame flickering in response to the light that just touched you. Share it the way rivers share their flow with grace, without hesitation, letting others drink from the peace you've found. And when you feel ready to walk with this light again, subscribe, not out of habit, but as a way of staying near the sound of faith that reminds you who you are. Finally, comment, still rising. Let it be your closing note. A whisper to heaven that you're not done growing, not done glowing. You are still rising, and the world will feel your light.